going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and this is a new secret room Easter egg in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, as well as some other secrets that you may have missed. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, we got plenty of brand new content going up over on detonated.com, expanding on all the coverage you're seeing here on the channel, just in the form of articles on the website, and plenty of tweets, of course, every single hour on Detonated's Twitter. There's been so much to post with the global launch of Modern Warfare 3. I was, of course, covering it early from New Zealand, of course. I know it's an inside joke at this point, but the global launch of the game is about to commence in the next few hours as I'm editing this video. Hopefully you guys are having a blast if you've played already, or hopefully you guys are jumping into it at some point later tonight. Not only did I just do an 11+ hour stream covering the MW3 Zombies launch, I also had some other videos scheduled, such as one about secret changes that you guys probably didn't know about in MW3 multiplayer, another which is an ultimate camo guide talking about every single challenge for weapon mastery in multiplayer and zombies, then lastly a full map comparison between all 16 launch maps from 2009 to 2023. Those videos were fairly long, but the links to them are down below in this video's description. With that being said, I got even more zombies coverage planned for you guys over the next couple of days. So as you're probably aware, act missions have replaced faction missions, if you guys are familiar with DMZ. Those are our new missions here inside of MW3, and it's honestly the first zombies experience where the community didn't burn through an entire quest and speedran finding a new cutscene within, a couple of hours. The community is still hard at work finishing all 3 acts of missions to get all of these cinematic cutscenes. It was already confirmed a main quest of sorts, probably a hidden one, like we saw in Outbreak for Cold War, is still coming at some point in the future, but until then, we still have plenty to do with the missions that are in-game. With that being said, though, there still is a big side Easter egg that just got solved involving a chessboard. So towards the bottom right of Urzikstan, near the mansion area, you'll go into this building, which reminds me a lot of the Golova mansion from Cold War Fireteam. You'll go into this mansion, head downstairs on the rappel, as you can see, and you'll find a secret room with a chessboard right in front of it. Now, ironically, the chessboard does actually match Urzikstan as a map. The layouts are supposed to be identical. So there's 4 pieces on this chessboard, as well as a white queen, which actually represents where you are inside of the mansion. If you look at where the 4 pieces are located, you'll notice a pawn at I1, a bishop at D1, a rook at C5, and a knight at F6. If you're not familiar with chess, those are the names of the pieces on the chessboard itself. What you want to do is go to each of these locations and collect a cell phone, but the catch is that 3 of these phones are guarded by mini bosses, while one of them actually isn't, or sorta, as you're about to see. So as you collect the phone, it'll send a signal to this secret room, and the thing is, any team on the map can take part in grabbing these phones, meaning there's a chance that you guys are going after all 4 of these, and other teams out there grab some of the phones, and you might go to some of these locations for nothing, which also in turn then means that people out there could actually just wait at the secret room for you to grab the phones. But keep in mind, this is a bit of a shared inventory in terms of the quest, where the entire lobby could take part in the same steps with the same things at the same locations. So starting off with the bishop boss, as I'm going to call him, over at D1, he's actually located underneath this tunnel. Right when you go under there, some smoke will be deployed, and the bishop will be there with plenty of enemy AI. Be very careful, because the AI isn't playing around here in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. They're not quite as aggressive and frustrating as the AI we had in DMZ, but they'll still catch you off guard and will immediately down you. They won't thirst you, but they're still pretty frustrating at times. But they're still pretty tough at times. So once you kill the bishop, a cell phone will drop, you want to pick it up, and it'll send a signal to H7, which is the exact coordinate on the map where the mansion is located, and of course the secret room. But what's funny though is that the other piece, or the other boss as I'll say, the knight, he's actually going to be somebody that's driving a vehicle on specifically the railroads that go around Urzikstan. Now what's cool is that if you go after the bishop first under D1, the knight will actually cut through this area and the same exact path where you're standing, and you can actually knock out 2 birds with 1 stone, essentially killing both the bishop and the knight in under a minute. We did it on stream earlier, which was absolutely hilarious, but don't worry if you don't end up knocking out both bosses at once. You can still find the knight driving around the map in a single armored vehicle. Once you shoot him out of the vehicle, the phone will drop wherever he dies, and you can pick that up and send that signal over to the secret room. But if you for some reason don't see the armored truck that belongs to the knight going through these same tunnels where the bishop is, just follow the train tracks and look on your tac map, and you might just see an armored truck driving by itself. You know that a real person is not driving that. You'll know for sure that is the knight that usually ends up towards the bottom center of the map, as I highlighted on the detonated graphic. Again, because of how many players are in a match of MW3 Zombies, 24 total, it's very common that you spawn into a match and maybe the knight and the bishop spawn close to another team. They both get wiped pretty quickly, and the other team might not even grab the cell phone. They might not know what's going on, but by the time you get to those areas, if you spawn on the opposite end of the map, those cell phones may have already been taken, or the bosses were already killed. So it's one of those cases where you might not see the boss sometimes, but maybe some of the cell phones were grabbed, and still still counts towards unlocking that secret room. But we then have the Rook, aka the sniper, located in B4. He's going to be all the way upstairs in this apartment building, and he'll actually leave traps behind as you make your way up the stairs to his room. Similar to the bomb maker from Ashika Island in DMZ, you'll see booby traps, proximity mines, sentry guns, and even some other annoying equipment. But once you make it past all of that and you find the Rook sitting in his room, you can take him out relatively quickly, whether it's with an energy mine, whether it's with your decked out weapon, whatever it is that you guys want. Take him out, pick up the cell phone, and send that signal over into the mansion. Last and certainly not least, we have the bossless cell phone, as I'll say. So this is located in I1, the very top right of Urzikstan. You want to go over to this secluded house, and you'll see the cell phone just sitting right there in the corner, but it's kind of a trap. As you grab the phone, a disciple will spawn in and a bunch of other tougher zombies, but they're not too difficult to kill. If you just get out of the room immediately, give yourself some space, it won't be too tough. But if you stay in the room where the cell phone was, you can get cornered pretty quickly, so be very careful depending on if you're going in with the teammate or not. Could get frustrating, but it's essentially the only cell phone that doesn't have a boss behind it, because the other cell phones do require you to kill those bosses first before grabbing the phone. Now, something I also discovered while streaming earlier is that there's actually a fast travel system here in Urzikstan. I'm sure they'll make improvements over the next few months as to how you traverse through this large environment. They'll obviously add more vehicles, more redeploy drones, rappels, zip lines, whatever the case is, but there is actually a fast travel system. We haven't fully figured out all the spawns for it yet, but we know at least 2 of them. So if you go up to an area and you see these stones spawn in with some symbols on them, if you shoot specific symbols in a certain order, it'll take you to a specific point of interest on the map. Now, funny enough, there's 3 symbols that you can find in the mansion. So if you go ahead and find a fast travel around Urzikstan and input those exact 3 symbols, it'll take you to the mansion every single time. Now, one of these fast travel locations was shown to us in the early gameplay that Treyarch revealed a couple of weeks back for MW3 Zombies. Another one was discovered near the military base towards the top right of the map. So if you guys out there are moving around Urzikstan looking for these cell phones, killing those bosses, or just looting up, and you might be close to one of these fast travels, you can use them to your advantage to get back to the mansion quickly before another team out there might go to the secret room, camp it, and steal the rewards before you even get there, even if you did the work to grab all the cell phones. Now, the fast travel spawns are the same in every match, and the symbols for the mansion are also the same for every match. So if you want to get to the mansion as quick as you can, just remember the 3 symbols that you guys saw on screen. But once you're back in the mansion, go down to the secret room, walk up to this specific door, and it'll allow you to unlock the door using one of those cell phones. You go into the room, and there's a couple of chests in there, and I was honestly expecting maybe a wonder weapon or wonder weapon schematic, but it looks like Treyarch has other plans for allowing players to unlock very rare items like that. Instead, this is a cool room for regain. So if you guys out there have a tough match in Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, want to get back into the mix to get a large backpack, a 3-plate vest, durable gas mask, even a bunch of perk cans, a bit of money, Aether tools, other schematics, then you could still find quite a bit here in this room, which is very valuable. And maybe there is some slight RNG that you could find a wonder weapon in here or something else that's crazy. But for now, this is a cool room that lets you get some bonus loot. If you guys are saying, oh, well, that's pointless, well, think of it this way, right? If you guys out there have a good strategy, like you saw in the gameplay earlier, and you manage to knock out 2-3 bosses or hit up all 4 cell phones in what, a matter of 5 to 7 minutes, you can get over to this room and regain pretty quickly, and far faster than what it would take to just normally build up points, do side objectives, do contracts, to then go ahead and buy the things that you actually want. But as you guys probably saw, there was a red mimic in that room, the same red mimic that we saw in Cold War Outbreak. He's labeled as the king inside of the secret room for whatever reason. He unfortunately doesn't drop anything, which would have been cool if he did, and maybe it would have been cool if he got like an animated calling card or an emblem for killing him, but he guards that secret room. Once you've taken him out, you can enjoy the secret room all for yourself or share the valuables with your teammates, and that's really it for the secret room here over in the mansion. I also wanted to mention the Aether bike. I'm not sure what the deal is with this bike at time of recording this, but my buddy Taco did find it randomly around the environment. It's a ton of fun because as you run over zombies with the bike, you build up the ability to use an Aether pulse, which is very powerful, but I unfortunately had a weird issue on stream today where I just couldn't drive vehicles correctly inside of MW3 Zombies. I had a really weird camera bug where it just wouldn't let me angle my vehicle correctly or turn it the right way, so it's kind of hard to steer, but still enjoy the gameplay nonetheless of the Aether bike, which did get showcased a bit in the initial MW3 Zombies trailer. I'm sure there's more than meets the eye with this bike, and there's probably secret abilities like, for example, what has been rumored, the ability to actually drive it on water. That's crazy, and it apparently doesn't take that much damage when you run over zombies, but could still get EMP to an extent where you can't drive it anymore. We haven't figured out exactly how it works, but I'll probably post a follow-up video talking all about this Aether bike in the next couple of days. Now, I also have some questions about the Convoy mission here inside of Act 1. I know it's a little bit confusing, but essentially around the environment, you'll sometimes see 3 armored trucks rolling together. That's the Convoy, right? You want to pull up on them, take out the AI enemies, pick up the stronghold keycard they may drop from those enemies, and you may run into a second set of armored trucks shortly after your first encounter. You want to once again wipe out those enemies, and it should count as progress towards the mission that you again wiped a complete convoy, grabbed the stronghold. There was a bug in my match where we actually wiped the convoy twice in a single game, and it just didn't say I beat the mission, but upon a successful exfil with that keycard, ended up saying that I did complete the mission. So again, the game mode itself is relatively new, and this is a new experience for Modern Warfare 3. There's bound to be bugs. It's the launch week, and I'm sure all this will be ironed out in the next couple of days, but that's how you beat the convoy mission here inside of Act 1. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the new secret room Easter egg that got discovered over in the mansion? How you're feeling about the Aether bike, and even the convoy act mission? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.